Can a book change your life? Francis Bacon believed it could. In just few paragraphs, his famous essay of studies reveals why reading, learning, and thinking are the real key to success. And that's exactly why questions from this essay frequently appear in different competitive examination. Hello learners, welcome back to English Hub. And today we are going to discuss one of the most important essays from competitive examination point of view of studies by Francis Bacon. Now let us know a little bit about Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon was an English philosopher, statesman, scientist and essayist of the Elizabeth and Jacobean periods. He studied at Trinity College, Cambridge and Gray's Inn. He rose to become Lord Chancellor under King James I. He is called both the father of empiricism and the father of English essay. His major works include essays, Novum Organum, and the Advancement of Learning. Now let us understand about the essay of studies. Of Studies was first published in 1597 as part of Bacon's first collection of 10 essays and revised in the final 1625 edition of 58 essays. It is a short, dense prose essay belonging to the expository argumentative genre. Bacon's style is called Cincan, aphoristic, brief, pointed, quotable sentences, as opposed to Ciceronian, long, ornate, flowing. The tone is impersonal and didactic. Bacon never uses I, and the essay reads as universal instruction. The three purposes of studies. This is the single most tested concept. Bacon opens the essay with studies serve for delight, for ornament, and for ability. Delight is your private pleasure, the personal joy of learning in solitude. When you are learning something just for pleasure, whereas ornament is your social prestige, where learning makes one better conversationalist and a person of standing. When you are making yourself to stand in the community socially and economically, that is the ornamental studies. Ability is the professional utility. Studies help in practical judgment, in the business, and decision making. Most famous quotation are reading maketh a man, reading makes a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. What Bacon is trying to explain is reading broadens and completes a person's character. Conference is basically the discussion, makes one quick, witty, and ready in speech. Writing develops precision, logic, and exactness of thoughts. This is the most quoted and most tested line across all exams. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. This is again one of the famous line from the essay. And here Bacon is telling that a famous food metaphor he is using over here. Taste is like skim light books. Swallow is like read moderately important book fully. And chew and digest over here means to study the most important books thoroughly with notes and reflection. That means when you are just tasting a book means you are just skimming something in it. You are lightly reading it. But when you are swallowing, when that means you are moderately reading book fully. It's important, but not that important. But like not that important like the one which you should digest those books and chew those books which are very important, and one should prepare the notes and reflect on those, use them in the life. So this is what Bacon is trying to explain in this line. Another important line is crafty men contemn studies, simple men admire them, and wise men use them. Here Bacon is telling three responses to knowledge. Crafty is the cunning one. Cunning men despise bookish learning, whereas the simple men blindly admire it without understanding. Wise men make purposeful, practical use of it. Bacon's idol is the wise man. Next important line is to spend too much time in studies is sloth. Excess study detached from real life is a form of laziness. Bacon warns against academic isolation and a pragmatic Renaissance humanist view. Histories make men wise, poets witty, the mathematics subtle, natural philosophy deep, moral grave, logic and rhetoric able to contend. Each discipline cultivates a specific mental quality. Note, subtle, archaic spelling of subtle, is tested as vocabulary question. Studies as medicine for mental defects. Bacon argues uniquely that specific studies can cure specific mental weakness, just as medicine targets specific alignment. Now, here are some mental defects. For wandering and distracted mind, one should study mathematics as it demands sustained focus. Inability to distinguish differences, then persons should study scholastic philosophy. If one is weak in arguments, then that person should study law of court cases. So every defect of the mind may have a special receipt. Receipt here means remedy or prescription. This is frequently tested as a vocabulary question. Now, here are some literary devices. Aphorism. The entire essay is built from short, memorable maxims. Extended metaphor. Books compared to food, taste, swallow, chew, and digest. Tricolon. Rule of three. Delight, ornament, ability. Full man, greedy man, exact man. Parallelism. Consistent grammatical structures throughout the essay. Antithesis. Crafty men versus simple men versus wise men. Key themes. The value of education and learning, the importance of balance and moderation. Excess study is itself a defect. Pragmatism. Knowledge must be applied, not merely accumulated. Self-improvement through targeted study, and the unity of mind, speech, and action. That means reading, conference, and writing should be coordinated. For all the competitive exam, focus on the three purpose that is delight, ornament and ability. The opening line and the reading conference and writing line. These appears as direct fill in the blank or MCQ question. And also remember about Bacon's dates. That is when he born, when he died, his first essay, final edition, and to be able to identify literary devices from given lines. One must also know the style of Bacon. And you should also remember that he is also known as the father of English essays. That the essay reflects Renaissance humanism and that receipt means remedy. Contextual questions about Bacon's role as Lord Chancellor, his empiricistic philosophy, and his relationship Montaigne's essay tradition also appear in examination.